Welcome to Reviewing the Ring. WWE will put it out there. I will review and get it back to you. Today, I'm looking at Raw. We started off Raw with John Cena versus Jason Jordan, in what turned out to be a pretty good match, with Jordan booked to look strong and to get across that he can rise to the challenge. He got in plenty of offense, including a beautiful pair of Northern Light suplexes. He escaped from the STF. He escaped from an AA attempt. But this being Cena, of course, in the end, the four moves of doom make their appearance and John Cena gets the win. Following the match, Mr. Empire comes out and he and Cena go at it on the mic. Now, last week, the work shoot worked beautifully. It got people talking, it got the YouTube views, and it voiced the complaints of many that were in the audience. This week, it felt extremely forced, though. Roman said it took 20 minutes for Cena to beat a rookie, even though Jason isn't a rookie anymore. And yet again, Cena is going to get his shovel out and bury young talent. Now, it ended up with Roman and Cena saying they basically do not respect one another. It really wasn't needed, and like I said earlier, it did feel forced, but Roman didn't have a match, so I'm guessing this was just a way to get Empire some TV time to build up this match at No Mercy. After that, we get the transition match, seeing Sheamus and Cesaro versus Heath Slater and Rhino, with the mini Shield consisting of Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, who were on the mics with the commentators during the match. Sheamus and Cesaro win in what amounted to a squash match, and it ends with the champs and winners jawing at each other to lead us into the break. Right then, moving on to the Intercontinental Championship, we saw last week Jeff Hardy win the Battle Royale in order to face The Miz on this week's edition of Raw for the Intercontinental Championship. And this match was fantastic. It goes to show you that when Jeff keeps his demons under control, that he can be taken seriously as a singles competitor. And then you factor into The Miz doing probably the best work of his life, and that is why he has that Intercontinental Championship. Now, for the proper match itself, great back and forth, lots of near falls. The two work together very well, and eventually you're going to have the Miz Taraj and Matt Hardy get involved on the outside. The referee is going to eject them from the match, allowing Jeff and Miz to have a good one-on-one match minus all of the shenanigans. Now, Maurice is still at ringside. The two kept going back and forth, more near falls, some good spots in there, eventually leading towards the end of the match. Jeff goes up top, gets ready to hit the swanton, and Maurice sort of reaches into the ring, shakes the Miz a little bit to let him know, hey, there's a swanton coming. Miz rolls out of the way. Jeff misses with the swanton, goes for the twist of fate. Miz reverses it into the skull-crushing finale, and Miz picks up the win. All right, we move over to the cruiserweights. We have Enzo, Cedric Alexander, Grand Metalik versus Noam Dar, Tony Nese, and Drew Gulak. Now, when looking at the purple brand, the state that it's in right now, last week Enzo debuted on the purple brand and pulled his best Eddie Guerrero, in which he cheated to win. This week, Enzo delivered the good old Roddy Piper eye poke behind the ref's back to get this win. Now, despite his apparent heat backstage, Enzo's made the division more interesting. We also now know that Grand Metalik is called Pepperjack, according to Enzo. Maybe this move will work out in the end. A little bit more personality in the 205 division is definitely needed. Maybe they will sort of take the reins off the guys a little bit, allow their personality to shine other than Neville. So right now, I'm not quite sure where we're at, but maybe a little bit of hope moving forward. Following the cruisers, we get a Balor and Bray promo, and for the first time in a long time, Bray actually makes sense. Balor's in the ring talking about how Bray cost him an IC title shot last week during the Battle Royale until Bray appears on the screen. Now, I'm reading the eye rolls until Bray starts talking about hunting when he was little, and he used a bow and arrow until it became too easy for him, and he started using his hands. Now, still at this point, I got the eye roll ready. I got it ready. Here it comes. But he then switched it. He stopped talking, and he compared the demon that Finn Balor uses to the bow and arrow that Bray used to use when he was hunting. So Finn accepts the challenge that at No Mercy, we will have Bray Wyatt versus the Cool Fawns version of Balor. So well done. An actual Bray promo that worked, did its job, and we have ourselves a match at No Mercy. Moving on to the women's division, we have Nia Jax and Emma going up against Alexa and Sasha Banks, with the stipulation being if either Nia or Emma pins or submits Alexa or Sasha, then at No Mercy, we will have a fatal four with all four ladies involved for the strap. Now, the stipulation worked into the match extremely well. Alexa and Sasha get along, as they did not want a fatal four match because that reduces their chances of winning the title. Nia and Emma spent a match conflicting over who is going to be in the ring to get the win. Pretty good match due to this, but ultimately Emma tagged herself in as Nia hit Banks with a leg drop, and Emma scored the pin. So coming up at No Mercy, we have another match set. It is going to be a fatal four-way between Alexa, the champion, Sasha Banks, Nia, and Emma. So overall, good match, some good spots. Nia did end up hitting a Samoa drop on Emma after the match. Next up on the card, we have the Mini Shield consisting of Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins going up against Gallows and Anderson. Now during the match, Sheamus and Cesaro are going to be at ringside, sort of playing into the Mini Shield being at the commentary table during Sheamus and Cesaro's match earlier. Overall, good tag match. It shouldn't, surprise anybody, as both teams are amazing. Plenty of good tag wrestling, hot tags aplenty. Everybody got their spots in. Sheamus and Cesaro do eventually get involved. Rollins is going to use Carl Anderson as a projectile, slam into Sheamus, turn around, get the roll up onto Carl Anderson, 1, 2, 3. Mini Shield, get the win, roll out of the ring. Now, where I have a big issue with this is Gallows and Anderson come in behind Sheamus and Cesaro post-match. Sheamus and Cesaro are still jawing with Ambrose and Rollins as the champs are going up to the ramp, and deep inside you sort of get that feeling that yes, finally, we know Sheamus is going to be leaving soon to do some film into Hollywood, so here is WWE's chance to make Gallows and Anderson a legit tag team contender moving forward once Sheamus leaves to go do his thing. But to no avail, Sheamus and Cesaro easily dispatched the Good Brothers, making them basically look foolish in all of this. It's a real shame. The tag team division is not as strong as it is. Yes, Rollins and Ambrose are the champs. Yes, they are very popular. Yes, they're doing good work. Sheamus and Cesaro are absolutely fantastic. But outside of those two tag teams, the rest of the division on Raw is not that well defined. So I feel they missed out on a big opportunity to sort of get the Good Brothers over, make them a legit contenders to possibly down the line challenging Mini Shield of Ambrose and Rollins. All right, main event time. We have Braun Strowman versus The Big Show in a steel cage. Now, leading up to this match, they showed what happened in April, the superplex off the top rope where they broke the ring. The ref took one of the most amazing ref bumps you'll ever see. And just phenomenal Looney Tunes type event occurred. So coming into this match, we knew, we were expecting, we were hoping, we were wishing for some type of crazy Looney Tunes cartoon type of event to happen. So Big Show's coming out to the ring. He's actually jumping around, getting the crowd fired up, pumping his fist. He's laughing, he's smiling, and this seems so odd at first because this is not necessarily what the Big Show does when he comes down to the ring. But oh my, do we find out why he was so excited coming into this match. Once it gets going, though, Braun gets the upper hand ASAP. He's smashing in the show. Big Show's in between the ropes and the cage, and Braun just over and over again showing his speed, showing how explosive he can be, just smashing into the Big Show. One of these times, Braun bounces off the ropes, goes right into the knockout punch, goes to commercial, give him a little bit of break. We get it. But following the commercial break, comes back. Big Show and Braun are still down onto the ground, and Big Show decides that it is time to leave the cage. Now, you can either go through the door or you can climb over top of the cage. Big Show decides he is going to climb out over the cage. So, Braun sees this, goes up, him and Show having interactions up there, punching, headbutts. Braun ends up losing, falls down to the mat. So Big Show is up there, and he's looking around to the crowd, And then it comes. The big nasty bastard himself drops an elbow from the top rope, lands it perfectly. A 7-foot, 400-pound man, just like the Giant in WCW days, elbow drop from the top rope. Absolutely phenomenal. Crowd 100% into it. This is awesome chance, losing their mind, and I absolutely agree with the crowd reaction. Braun survives a chokeslam after that, and the two end up on the top rope again. Another superplex is delivered by Braun onto Big Show, but this time the ring survived. They showed before the match that the crew double reinforced it. The announce team were making sure that the audience knew it was reinforced. The ring was not going to break again. Braun gets up, hits Show with a power slam. 1, 2, 3, over. Okay, post-match, Braun grabs the mic and cuts a promo on Brock, saying, "I'll see you at No Mercy. Look at what I've done to the Big Show. You're next. See you then." On the way out, Braun stops. He's getting ready to leave the cage, looks back at Big Show, and decides it's Looney Tune time. Goes over, picks up Show, puts him in the power slam position, runs towards the cage, and literally throws Big Show like a javelin through the cage, breaks the cage, lands on the floor. We got our Looney Tunes moment. And as usual, as crazy as it is, as far-fetched as it is, it just works. Everything with Braun, everything that they're doing just works. Whether it is the ambulance match, the Roman Reigns beatdown, throwing Kalisto in a dumpster off the side of the stage, the madness that was SummerSlam. Right now, everything Braun Strowman does is fantastic. So, can't wait till No Mercy. Should be good. All right, so that was Raw. Summing it up, match of the night, I'm definitely going to give it to Jeff Hardy and The Miz. They did great. It was phenomenal. It was good to see Jeff Hardy back in singles competition. It was good to see The Miz actually defending the IC title. And it's good and refreshing to see some new blood mixed in with that title. Surprise of the night is going to go to Bray cutting a good promo for once, with the runner-up being Braun and Show going through the cage. It's runner-up just because we were all expecting something to happen. We just were not quite sure what it was. But at the end of the day, it was a fantastic spot, and they're going to be showing this for weeks and weeks leading up to the No Mercy Universal Title Showdown. All right, so overall, we're 3 weeks away from No Mercy, so this was a setup show. It did its job. We got matches for the pay-per-view. It continued to build feuds. That said, I give it a 3.5 Hacksaw Jim Duggan thumbs up out of 5. Ho!